News. This is the news.
Hey, hi, hello. I'm done. I've done it. Hi, welcome to Newsday. My name's Aaron. This is where I'll talk about news. I'm just going to say that just for the VOD later. Well, I shouldn't have said the second part. Imagine I didn't say the second part about for the VOD later. This is a whole new thing. That's definitely not part of a stream. Here we go. There is a lot of news to talk about. Mostly Xbox we're going to talk about. That's going to be a big topic of the day. But we will also talk about some other stuff. Starting again. I like to start with the really bad news. It really gets us off to a good start, you know? This is today. Actually, no, this is not today. It's a few days ago. But Ubisoft has confirmed layoffs at Toronto studio, but insists the Splinter Cell's remake is still coming. This is from Video Games Chronicle. Ubisoft has laid off about 40 people at Ubisoft Toronto as part of Ubisoft's restructuring. That studio is supposedly working on a Splinter Cell remake, which was first announced in 2021. And they recently reappointed a director for that game. But this sucks. 40 people laid off as a part of some sort of restructuring thing. Ubisoft's been doing this for like a couple of years, I think. Doing this restructuring thing. This article says the Ubisoft Toronto cuts are the latest at the publisher following its announcement of a major reset, which will see its creative teams radically restructured into autonomous creative houses. As part of the restructuring, the publisher is also rolling out a cost-cutting initiative, which has so far resulted in the cancellation of 6 games, the postponement of 7 others, and 2 studio closures. Ubisoft has also proposed the elimination of up to 200 jobs at its headquarters in Paris, France, or around 18% of staff. That's a lot. 18%? That's a lot of staff. The company said it's aiming to reduce its fixed cost by an additional 200 million euros over the next 2 years. Okay. Great. We love it. We love to see it. Look, you know, all the best to Ubisoft. I hope it works out for him, but that fucking sucks. What else do you say to that? I have nothing else to say apart from that fucking sucks. And corporations suck. And that's it. The end. But yeah, all the best to Ubisoft. Hope it works out. Whatever. We have finally received an update about the BioShock movie after 3 years of delays. This article comes from Collider, who spoke to the producer of the movie, Roy Lee, who is currently promoting a movie that I hear is not very good called Psycho Killer, which let me just check here before I say the amount of good reviews it has on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, it's gone up. What do you know? Just the other day, this movie had 0% good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. It has now gone up to 10% good reviews out of 30. 3 people liked it. Even the popcorn meter, the viewer meter, the general public meter has 35%. So even the normies don't like it. This review says it was like a Tubi movie shown on a big screen. Great. Sounds fantastic. Anyway, my point is, the producer of that movie is promoting that movie, and he was in an interview with Collider, and they asked about the Bioshock movie to see how it was coming along. Francis Lawrence was attached to it, who the guy that directed The Hunger Games, and The Long Walk most recently, which was very good. I like that movie a lot. So don't let the fact that this producer guy produced Psycho Killer distract you from the fact that the director of this Bioshock movie supposedly is pretty decent. But Collider asked the producer, Roy Lee, about the Bioshock movie, and he said, "We would have gotten it made a few years back, but then other things got in the way, with one being The Long Walk and the other being the Hunger Games prequel, which comes out this December. We're just waiting for him to finish post-production because he's going to be working on it through at least September and then jump back into it. I know that Netflix and Take-Two are very anxious to see the movie come out because they want to have the release coincide with some of the potential new incarnations of the game." What's that you say? Huh? That's right. Supposedly, they want the movie to line up with the release of the next Bioshock game, which is interesting, seeing as we said there's still nothing really official about that. Lots of leaks, right? Lots of things have been said about it, not from the people making it. So maybe we see this movie in a couple of years along with the new game. Maybe. It could theoretically happen. Will it happen? I don't have my hopes up, I've got to say. Our next story. Nintendo is issuing refunds for the definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles X, which was basically an upgrade to the original Switch version for the Switch 2. But apparently people don't love it. This is from Eurogamer. Since its release, social media has been flooded with complaints about the game's improved visuals, with some fans claiming the game looked better before the Switch 2 upgrade. And while some are devising workarounds in an attempt to improve the game, others have gone straight to Nintendo for a refund, and they're getting it. This person wrote, image quality seems sharper, but after a while the image starts to grow over my perception and just turns bad. Long-range textures seem to have been applied a convolution filter on it. Whatever the fuck that... does this person speak English? They're a Redditor, so... Temodolo. You know. No offense to Redditors, but... And the overall image seems to be just full HD being upscaled and anti-alias with strong filters. Not really a true high-resolution game. I played the Wii U version in native 4K using CMU, and that version in 4K is incredible. I expected that Nintendo did that for the Switch 2 edition, but this is less than any other free update they issued until now. I just asked mine, saying that the image quality of the upgraded version is worse than the original game. They said that they normally don't refund digital games, but can do it in this case after analyzing the problem. What I want to communicate to Nintendo by doing this isn't the Nintendo quality I expected and received until now, so I'll not pay for something that delivers less quality than a free patch. I encourage you all doing this to pass the message to Nintendo that this level of quality for something that is paid isn't acceptable and they need to improve. Fair. That's fair. You know, if you pay for something, you expect it to be good. And this sounds like it's, according to this person at least, it's worse than it looked on the Switch, which doesn't make any sense, but it's fair enough. So if you bought that, if you paid for that upgrade for Xenoblade Chronicles X and you're not happy with it, ask Nintendo for a refund. They just might give it to you. Back to Ubisoft now. On Reddit, there was a post, which is weird. On the Assassin's Creed subreddit, of all places, they posted an update on the future of Assassin's Creed. Meet the new leadership team. And they've announced a whole bunch of new leaders for Assassin's Creed. They say, hello everyone, we want to take a moment to share some important updates about the future of Assassin's Creed. We know that what comes next has been a big topic within the community lately, and today we can finally share some updates, starting with the introduction of newcomers to the leadership team that will shape the future of the franchise. Meet our trio of experts of the series who will bring their expertise, knowledge, and passion to guide Assassin's Creed into its next chapter. And these three new people, we have Martin Schelling, who is the head of brand, and he will be leading the franchise team, as well as the overall strategy, long-term vision, and development of Assassin's Creed. He previously worked as a producer and senior producer on many defining titles in the series, including Revelations, Black Flag, Origins, and Valhalla. Some good ones in there. It's not bad. Jean Gaston is appointed head of content. He will lead the creative direction of the franchise, supporting ongoing projects and help shape the franchise's future while ensuring it remains true to its DNA. He was creative director on Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Origins, but his history with the series goes all the way back to Assassin's Creed 2. Doesn't say what he did for that, but here we are. And then this is the best one. This has to be the best title you can have when you're the head of something. Francois Dabilly becomes head of production excellence. Wow. He will support our teams by strengthening production practices and execution across the franchise. Francois recently worked as senior director global production and contributed to several major Assassin's Creed titles, including Revelations of Black Flag, and more recently as production director on AC Origins and AC Valhalla. These three have a long history making Assassin's Creed games, including some of the series' most memorable titles, and seeing them reunited marks the beginning of an exciting and ambitious new chapter for Assassin's Creed. You know, I again hope they can turn this around. Hopefully these three get this back on track. Let's do some fucking remakes or some remasters. There hasn't been any Assassin's Creed remakes or remasters, all right? Let's get on to remaster the first game. Make it good. That'd be good. If they could make a good version of the first game, that'd be great. And then, yeah, let's up the graphics on the Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy. I'd be into it. But, you know, also make new games, I guess, too. But I think a good place to start would be remaking or remastering the original games, and then you make a new one that goes from those, you know? Forget about all the other shit. Do the original trilogy. It's weird saying original trilogy when the original trilogy is 5 games, but you know what I mean. The biggest news this week, though, our main topic of the week is Xbox. Oh, I gotta stretch. I gotta get ready for this one. Oh, God. All right. It's been quite a week. Quite a weekend for Xbox, because I'm pretty sure they announced this on Friday, of all days. Xbox has had restructuring. They've got new bosses. There are new people in charge of Xbox. This article comes from IGN, Ryan McCaffrey. I don't think you heard that. Okay. Phil Spencer retiring, Sarah Bond out, Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI exec, Asha Sharma named new Xbox boss. Exclusive. What? I mean, so this is what I heard, was that this was supposed to be announced Monday. And IGN had this article ready to go for Monday, but supposedly the news was leaking out. People had gotten wind of it and were starting to talk about it online, I guess. So Xbox pushed up the announcement to Friday, and that's what they did. They put this article out on Friday, and it was very surprising. For a while now, people have been asking Phil Spencer to step aside and move on, and that's fine. You can want that. There are so many questions about, because Microsoft is such a big company. It's hard to know what the actual problem is. Like, where are all the problems stemming from? Yes, it could be Phil Spencer that's the issue, but it could be also just be the higher ups, like the people above Phil Spencer, that are telling him, "Hey, you need to do this," and he's trying his best. He's doing what he can. When he's just a cog in the machine. So you can say, "Hey, we want Phil Spencer out because he's ruining the company," but like, he was not ruining the company for quite a while. He was doing pretty well for a couple of years, and then it all started to go downhill. So was it him making these decisions, or was he just like, he just had to do what he had to do to keep things afloat? It's hard to say, but we're gonna find out now. The real surprising thing here was that Sarah Bond is also gone. The idea, people assumed that she would take his place. She would be the new CEO. But instead, they're both gone. And Matt Booty's moved up. He's now the chief content officer, and this new chick, Asha Sharma, is the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. So the new CEO is the big question mark here. Is like, what is she going to bring to the table? Up until now, she's mostly been focused on Microsoft's core AI. Her previous jobs were AI focused as well. She doesn't seem to be much of a game person. This is her first job as running a video game company. As far as I'm aware, she doesn't have any experience in getting hardware made or anything of that nature. This is questionable. Does lead me to think that there might be a lot of AI focused things coming for Xbox. It's all speculation right now, so I'm just guessing. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like, what could happen here in future? What is going to happen? But it's very questionable giving her the CEO role when she's had no other experience in video games. Satya Nadella, who's the actual CEO of Microsoft, put out a statement. Actually, it was weird. So Phil Spencer put out a statement. Where are we? Can I find the actual? I don't seem to. On Microsoft's on the actual Microsoft website, they had all the statements, but IGN's sort of like broken them down. But yeah, Phil Spencer put out a statement. Satya Nadella and I think Matt Booty and the new CEO Asha Sharma. They had all had statements. Sarah Bond did not have a statement, which again was questionable. But knowing that this was all supposed to happen Monday, I guess there is a little bit of leeway there as to the strangeness. I this is all I don't know. Anyway, Satya Nadella put out a statement. He said, I want to thank Phil for his extraordinary leadership and partnership. Over 38 years at Microsoft, including 12 years leading gaming, Phil helped transform what we do and how we do it. Okay, so they have the full statements from these four down below. Phil Spencer said, last fall I shared with Satya that I was thinking about stepping back and starting the next chapter of my life. From that moment, we aligned on approaching this transition with intention, ensuring stability and strengthening the foundation we've built. Xbox has always been more than a business. It's a vibrant community of players, creators, and teams who care deeply about what we build and how we build it, and it deserves a thoughtful, deliberate plan for the road ahead. Today marks an exciting new chapter for Microsoft Gaming as Asha Sharma steps into the role of CEO, and I want to be the first to welcome her to this incredible team. Working with her over the past several months has given me tremendous confidence. She brings genuine curiosity, clarity, and a deep commitment to understanding players, creators, and the decisions that shape our future. We know this is an important moment for our fans, partners, and team, and we're committed to getting it right. I'll remain in an advisory role through the summer to support a smooth handoff. This is another questionable thing. Supposedly, he's been working with her over the past several months. Why are we just finding out about this suddenly now? Like, why is it like, okay, she's CEO and Phil's gone? Why is it like a sudden thing? Why other companies, I'm not going to name names, other companies generally, they will say, this person's leaving in a few months. They'll give you a lead up to it. They're letting you know ahead of time. This other person is probably going to take over, blah, blah, blah. This was just so sudden. And I'm not calling Phil a liar here. I just don't know what's going on. This is so weird. Asha Sharma. Let's move on to her, seeing as she's the new CEO. She was former VP of Product and Engineering at Meta and former Instacart COO. And she's also a board member of the Home Depot. She joined Microsoft in 2024. In her email to Microsoft staff, she wrote, in part, my first job is simple. Understand what makes this work and protect it. Haven't you been here for several months? Why are you saying right now that you're understanding what makes it work? Also, shouldn't you know before you take the job? I don't know. Shouldn't you get the job because you know what makes it work? And you've come in and you've been like, hey guys, look, I should be the new CEO because this is what works and this is what doesn't. And they go, oh, good job. Why right now are you deciding that you need to figure out what makes it work and what makes it doesn't work? That starts with 3 commitments, she says. First, great games. Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Unforgettable characters, stories that make us feel, innovative gameplay, and creative excellence. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises, and back bold new ideas. We will take risks. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value, grounded in what players care about most. I promoted Matt Booty in honor of this commitment. You promoted Does that mean you also fired the other people? Does that mean you fired Sarah Bond? What does that mean? He understands the craft and the challenges of building great games, has led teams that deliver award-winning work, and has earned the trust of game developers across the industry. Matt Booty. I don't know much about this guy. I just know the name. What's he been responsible for? Because she says he's delivered award-winning work. Games. Okay. Okay, this isn't helping me. You'd think I'd just be able to find what he's actually been responsible for. What was your job before, Matt Booty? I don't know. I'll never know. I'll never know what Matt Booty did before now. I've known his name, like, for ages. What the fuck did he do? I don't know. Hang on. Head of Xbox Game Studios. So he was just the head of Xbox Game Studios. Led the global teams responsible for developing Minecraft. Including Microsoft's acquisition of Mojang and the successful integration of the team into Xbox Game Studios. So he worked at Mojang before, and then worked at Microsoft? Is that it? Because this is... So he did that. And then became the head of game studios. Okay. So now I'm confused now because now it's chief content officer. What is the difference between that and being the head of Xbox Games Studio? Is that not the same? What is this fucking company? God damn it. Anyway. Help me out, guys. Anyway, she promoted Matt Booty. He understands the craft and challenges of building great games, led teams. Yeah, okay. Second, the return of Xbox. I'm sorry. I was unaware that Xbox went away. Is this like make Xbox great again? Is this Muxga? Gonna hand out some green hats? Make Xbox great again. Xbox has been here. What the fuck are you on about? Return of Xbox. We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experience that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox and to the developers who build ambitious experience for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of any single piece of hardware. Okay. So a second ago, you said the return of Xbox, which to me makes me think that you're going to concentrate on console again. Like you're going to try and make it more console focused. But then you say Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of any single piece of hardware. Pick a fucking lane. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless. She didn't mention console. She says PC, mobile, and cloud. Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. The rumor has been for a while that the next Xbox will be a PC, essentially. It'll just be a Windows PC. So this definitely does line up with the rumors just saying PC, mobile, and cloud. Xbox will essentially be a PC. But then also, the return of Xbox! What the fuck are you on about? Third, future of play. We are witnessing the reinvention of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat these worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. As monetization and AI... There it is. There's the word. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystems with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. There's just so many questions in this statement. Great. Yeah, like you're gonna... We are witnessing the reinvention of play. What does that mean? What is the reinvention of play? It's not VR. That's come and gone. You've done Connect. You've done fucking other things other plays. What is the reinvention of play? What? Have I said what? What? I don't get it. Like she mentions that AI will evolve and influence the future, but also they're not going to flood the ecosystem with soulless AI slop. What does AI bring to the reinvention of play? Please help. I don't love this statement at all, and I don't love her previous work, and I don't love the mentions of AI without any detail behind it. I hate it. I don't like it. I hate it. Matt Booty put out a statement. He said in his email to Microsoft staff, "Looking forward, I'm excited to partner with Asha as our next CEO. Our first conversation centered on her commitment to making great games and the role that plays in our overall success. She asks questions, pushes for clarity, and wants our choices grounded in player and developer needs. The mindset matters as industry around us is changing quickly, how players engage, how games are made, and how business models and platforms evolve. We have good reasons to believe in what's ahead. This organization and its franchises have navigated change for decades, and our strength comes from teams who know how to adapt and keep delivering. That confidence is grounded in a strong pipeline of established franchises, new bets we believe in, and clear player demand for what we are building." What is the clear player demand for what you're building? because I think most Xbox players want you to focus on making games for the console or ecosystem that they've invested in for years. But then she's talking about, expanding across PC, mobile, and cloud, which, mobile and cloud, I don't think there's a lot of people are using them, sure, but I don't think it's like a huge part of the business. I could be wrong, because I don't think Microsoft puts out numbers for anything these days. But there's no way that that's like a huge chunk of the audience for Xbox. I think the biggest chunk of audience for Xbox right now is PlayStation, which is sad. That people would rather play your Xbox games on a different company's console. What are you gonna do? Keep putting the price up, I guess, on your Xboxes, so no one buys them. That's what you're gonna do. I'm really interested in what the fucking end goal is here, like with the AI stuff and talking about going across all these different platforms, but then also they have another console coming, but it's actually a PC, but they're also putting games on every other platform, and what's going on? What's going on at Xbox? So that are all the statements on Friday. Sarah Bond didn't have a statement, and everyone was like, "What's happening there? What the fuck? How come she's just gone all of a sudden and she wasn't promoted? She was just out. She's just gone." Well. Oh, also, 4 hours before this announcement, she posted a thing on LinkedIn or something. I think there was some sort of survey or something, which made it even more questionable. But then we later figured out that the whole thing was supposed to be announced on Monday anyway. So that was just that. But still, why is she even posting it? If it is an announcement that's coming, why is she posting at all? It's very strange. So The Verge put out an article. There's more. There's more to this saga. The Verge put out an article today. Tom Warren over at The Verge. Basically talking about how they promoted Asha Sharma to CEO, and Sarah Bond was kicked out. I'm just skipping to the pivotal part here. The pivot away from console, led by Bond, under Spencer's direction, hasn't gone well for Xbox. Microsoft's Xbox hardware revenue has declined for 3 financial years in a row, and it looks like those declining revenues are going to continue through fiscal 2026. Most of the current and former Xbox employees I've spoken to in recent days are relieved that Bond is leaving Microsoft. I've heard from multiple sources that Bond has been tough to work with and built a team structure that meant if you didn't follow the vision or question it, you were out. Most have praised her ability to strike partnerships with companies and developers, though. I wrote in December, this again, Tom Warren, I wrote in December 2024 that Bond had staked her career reputation on the idea of Xbox being everywhere across multiple platforms and devices. This also involved carefully managing her image both internally and externally, making her appear to be a gamer like Phil Spencer. In reality, she wasn't. I understand that Bond's strategy had been failing internally and could internally and being questioned multiple times. Bond had tried to push mobile and cloud over console to reach potentially millions more Xbox customers, but the result has been a classic case of chasing tomorrow's customers by neglecting today's. So it sounds like some people at Xbox were not happy with the way Bond was running things. They didn't like her plan to put Xbox everywhere. They didn't like the, this is an Xbox campaign, all of these sort of things. But these were her ideas that were filtered through Phil Spencer. Like, he was the head. He was the CEO. As a CEO, it's your job to make things run. Sarah Bond works under him, and she came to him with these ideas and said, hey, what do you think about this? And he was like, okay, let's try it. So putting this all on her is fucking shitty. Like, that is awful, okay? She may have come up with the ideas, and she may have been the one to impose them on people and get the ball rolling and say, hey, this is what we've got to do, blah, blah, blah. But it went through Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer was in charge. If he heard that and was like, that's a good idea, we should try that, that's on him. So I don't like this aspect of this where it's like putting all of the blame on her. It's like, oh, this is all her fault. No, it's not. Again, may have been her ideas, but Phil Spencer approved them. This is a joint problem here. I don't like the way that this article has like put the blame on her at all, because that's just fucking shit. That's a load of fucking shit. That being said, it is as a joint pairing here, this was a terrible idea. Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond together did fucking dumb things. Especially pushing mobile and cloud over console to reach customers that were not there. Yeah. That's, yeah. I'm definitely not going to defend the decisions that were made by either person here that had that was in charge. Now, Tom Warren also says, Xbox employees I've been speaking to have been concerned about the Sharma appointment, particularly because of her previous role as an AI executive at Microsoft. There is also concern about her lack of industry experience in entertainment and gaming. Sharma has been clear she's not a gamer and has spent the weekend responding to people on X and even taking game recommendations. Oh no. Some Xbox employees worry she'll force AI into everything Xbox does, but Sharma was clearly ready for that reaction. And then they mention her statement about monetization and AI evolving and influencing the future, and not chasing the short-term efficiency or flooding their ecosystem with soulless AI slop. The other concern is that she's been appointed by Nadella as some kind of executioner of the Xbox console. Her memo doesn't suggest that, and Microsoft could have easily appointed Matt Booty into that kind of role to push game publishing instead of the Xbox console. Tom Warren says, I get the impression from sources that Microsoft wants a turnaround and is worried about losing Xbox as it's one of its only remaining successful consumer brands. Which is true. I think the games are selling well. I think the games are doing well. So it makes sense that they want to try and revive the console aspect as well. Will it happen? I don't know. Those who know Sharma better describe her as enthusiastic, willing to learn, and very capable of getting teams to execute on a clear vision rather than coming in as a product executioner. She also has a history at Instacart and Meta of overseeing platform launches and getting people to use products, the type of user acquisition that Xbox has failed at in recent years. That is a good point. You know, if she was getting people into using products, if she has that kind of ability, I guess that does make sense then at getting her to do this job and maybe getting people involved in getting people more interested in an actual Xbox console. Yeah, this is so interesting. One final thing, Seamus Blackley was in an interview with GamesBeat. He's one of the co-creators of Xbox. He's basically responsible for Xbox. And they asked him about this whole thing. And let me just find the quote here, because they ask him about what they think of her and what they should do. It's a long article. Okay. Well, now I don't even know where the thing is that I was looking for. Okay. Just essentially, like this I guess this sums it up. He said, in the end, if this isn't something you're really passionate about, I think she's clearly very passionate about e-commerce and about AI, but that's not games. Games are a passion business. The audience and everyone in the ecosystem reward that passion at every industry event, at every award show, at every business meeting, at every fight that you have about shelf space, every fight you have about who gets what tariff at what online store. Everyone sits around for a minute and talks about what games they love and the passion they have about that. If you're not ready to hang like that, you're not going to do well in those meetings. Microsoft is not enough of a gorilla that someone who doesn't know what to talk about can walk in and do things. I don't know what that means. Enough of a gorilla? But yeah, essentially he's talking about, people who coming into the business who don't know anything about it, and it's tough. It's tough to actually come in and not know anything about the actual business and like just pick it up and learn it and make it work all of a sudden, because that's what you're coming in for. You're coming in to try and make it work. So she's got a work cut out for her, and I hope look, I would love it if Xbox came back and had a really good piece of hardware and people loved it and they started fucking get a second wind, make a new Xbox 360, Remember the 360? Sure, the console died after 2 days, but the fucking the essence, so good. The 360 was great. I would like to see a new Xbox that's worth owning. But the question is, will they do it? That's what it comes down to. Can they do it? Will they do it? I don't know. These are all questions that are up in the air. I'm just reporting the news and giving you my opinion on it. And here it is. And here it is. And there it is. And there it was. That's been Newsday for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the show, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow on Twitch, whatever you want to throw us. It's been a good show. I've enjoyed it. Talking about all the Xbox. Sure is a crazy time. I'll be back tonight at 8:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time to talk on the podcast. The podcast is back, and it will be at 8:30 tonight, where we will talk. We'll probably talk about some of this stuff again tonight with Josh, and we'll talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching, and other stuff. I don't know. The podcast is all about chit chat. I hang out with Josh. Josh hangs out with me, and we chit chat about the stuff we chit chat. So if you're into that sort of stuff, we'll see you then. Until then, that's been a Newsday for this week. I'll see you tomorrow for Dump Day, where I continue to play Duke Nukem Forever. Goodbye.